Space Marine 2, let's talk about it. Now this is coming from someone that hasn't played a campaign game in God knows how long. Now I must say also, I haven't played Space Marine 1, but when I was about 12 or 13 I used to paint, glue, even fight with a Warhammer. The army that I had was Tau. They were blue. I was told I wasn't allowed to have blue Tau, but look at me now. Still have the blue Tau somewhere in a box. I definitely don't, they're all in a bin. But it was quite pricey and it was funded by my school as well, which was really, really cool. Still no clue how to play it when I was doing it. I think I like the more artistic side of actually painting the figures. But nonetheless, when this trailer dropped, I was super invested. Just seeing this opening gameplay with all the Tyranids running down the hill towards you, I was just like, oh my god, this is nuts. And the graphics were just incredible in the trailer. In comparison to all the overhead, like even the Vermintide ones, which I still want to try out. This one really just caught my attention. I think it's because it does remind me a lot of that Gears of War-esque gore that I am super invested in, as you can tell behind me. A lot of Gears of War in this room. If you look at all my past catalogue, it's a lot of Gears of War. Love that game. But look what we have here. We have gore. Let's check that one off. Manly men in oversized suits. Check that off. Chainsaws. Check that off. And a crazy looking enemy, which is the Tyranids, and they are terrifying. So let's get back on track here. I'm all over the place. I bought this game about 2 weeks after it launched. I only watched the first trailer and a tiny bit of gameplay before I bought it, and you know, that was pretty much it. So I went in sort of blind, didn't know who the main character was or anything of the sorts. I know the first game came out years ago, but it just never caught my attention. For some weird reason this one did, but for some stupid reason I went into the game on Angels of Death. I'm not a Souls player. I don't play any sort of game like that. Like I said, I don't really play campaign games. I don't know what attracted me to play it on the hardest difficulty, but it was an experience to say the least. But with more reflection, I think it's because I wanted to enjoy the game more and get more out of the game, so I didn't just absolutely fly through on easy or medium and that was it. I didn't want to absorb it that quick. But honorable mention, before we even start talking about the game, the photo mode in this is absolutely incredible. I never take time in photo mode. I never really paid attention to photo mode, but this one really caught my attention. Let's continue. In the first mission, you're dropping off the battle bus and you're on this alien planet and you're shooting aliens. That's pretty much it. Spoiler alert, you get in the chest and then you're harvested, I think, and then you become somewhat of a bigger super soldier and you get D-ranked, I think, and then you're doing these missions for this lad with a beard and an eye. He looks pretty cool looking, and then that's pretty much it. You get the ball rolling with a few missions. But what I noticed mainly straight away when I jumped into the game, obviously playing on the hardest as well, I want the controls to be perfect, but they didn't let me customize controls 100%. They had like a few different button schemes and that was it. Well, I was playing on Xbox, but I presume on PC you'd be able to bind it. Now for the crossplay, I don't want to get into that too much, but you can see how that could be unfair. Yes, it was my fault playing on console, but this game would have definitely nuked my PC on max settings. But yeah, so I played it on console and the Series S is still slept on to this day. So essentially I smashed a tutorial out of it, which is the big mission where you get in the chest and then you jump into the ship, the main ship, and you start doing the little missions for the main man. This lad, I had one little gripe with him, okay? Seemed like a nice chap, but every single time I went to do a mission, I was like, can I bring 6 people? No. Just bring you straight. Can I bring 12 people? No. I know I'm meant to be like a well-renowned space marine, but let me bring more people, you know what I mean?
I'll need a combat squad, 5 men. I can spare 3 men.
But when you actually are boots on the ground going through the mission, it did feel a lot like World War Z. And I did have to actually look this up while I was making this video. I didn't know it was the same makers, Saber, I believe it is. So you could actually see the inspiration from the Daisy, I was about to say, the World War Z with all the zombies running down the hill, all the zombies running down the hill. And yeah, no, it was pretty epic. World War Z walked, so Space Marine could run essentially. But going back to what I said earlier, this game does have a little bit of a Souls inspiration. This is coming from someone that hasn't played any Souls game, but like with the little quick time events for parrying and blocking and dodging and rolling. Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed playing that different style, so I definitely might pick up a Souls game down the line. It was challenging, but I did enjoy it. I was living for any moment when there was an execution or when a Tyranid was jumping on me. So if you aren't aware, in the game, if you run out of health, regain your shield straight away, you can perform an execution, and that is a quick time event if one of the little small aliens jump on you, or if you're about to execute someone as well. Now, the whole health meter is an interesting concept. I did enjoy it, but it was challenging at times in certain situations when you didn't have enough stims or any of the relics or anything of the sort. What happened was with myself, I got distracted. Okay, my brain rot brain didn't let me just play the campaign. I had to jump into the multiplayer and see what it was all about. And yeah, it was a pretty straightforward multiplayer. I really enjoyed it. Oh, that was pretty epic. My superhero landed on him. Got him. Very Destiny vibe off it, where it's like if you're in a 2v1, you're more than likely gonna die. You know what I mean? So there's no real big clutch moments. There's a lot of teamwork, sticking together, even just sitting back with the sniper class, so on and so forth. But I did enjoy it, and I am looking forward to playing more of it. I did play the multiplayer for about 2 or 3 hours, and then it was all straight back into the campaign. Now, speaking of the campaign, I really enjoyed it, really enjoyed the game style of it all. But the main character, Titus, he was just putting years on me. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. Not the actual character itself, just the character model of him. Like, the whole game I played with the option to have the helmet on the whole time. I just thought it looked a bit more epic. I do like that masked Space Marine feel, where sort of Mandalorian vibes, where you don't see the face as much. I think it just causes a bigger impact and make you feel more badass. Like, look at the Doom guy, for example. He's the Doom guy for a reason. You know what I mean? He doesn't have a face. He doesn't have a name. It's Doom guy. But I think a big factor of that as well about Titus as a character was I didn't play the first game. I didn't get to know him as much. Now, another thing. Every single Space Marine in this game was obsessed with the word brother.
Brother. Yes, brother. Brother Chiron. Brother. Yes, brother.
Now, again, going back to my brain rot brain, didn't let me focus. All I was thinking of was your man Sketch. And then I was thinking of Sketch in a Space Marine suit. Just saying it constantly. So every time I was playing it live, what was I saying?
What's up, brother?
Well, yes, they are essentially space Spartans from 300. They're obsessed with the word brother, like Sketch. Now, let's go over the plot. I only started getting it towards the end of the game, when I wrote my little brief script of what I wanted to talk about. Again, I didn't play the first game, so was going in a bit confused, didn't know exactly what was going on. Yeah, no, I wasn't really there for the plot as much. I was more there for the chainsaw on a sword and chopping aliens up in half. That was the fun time I was enjoying. And the challenge of actually playing on the hardest difficulty started becoming more rewarding when I was doing each chapter and each boss battle. And I'll definitely get into that in a minute. Now, if you had a chainsaw sword to my head, I literally completed the game about 6-8 hours ago. Can't remember the 2 guys who were with me. You know who the 2 guys are yourself if you have played the game. And I am sorry, but they weren't that memorable. I remember how courageous they were, but I do not remember the names. I'm sorry. Now, for me, fighting the Tyranids straight at the start of this game, it felt like the assault rifles were just shooting marshmallows, and I got more satisfaction out of the plasma, like big pulse rifle, and then also, which is essentially a big shotgun, a big space shotgun, and then the bolt, the heavy bolt pistol, I believe it's called. Those were my 2 main straight the game. Towards the end of the game, I started using the big sledgehammer instead of the chainsaw, and yeah, no, that was the main way I sort of rotated through the game, weapon-wise. The sniper, couldn't care much about, used it in certain circumstances. Any assault rifle, sort of threw it to the ground. Even the one with the grenade launcher on it wasn't really that good in my opinion. I did enjoy the linear style to this game. It wasn't like sort of sub open world where you have to go to different areas. You do your mission, you go back to your space, and then you do a mission again. You know, pretty straightforward, and I like that. Also, this is a little bit of a spoiler talk if you haven't played the game, but Tyranids aren't the only enemy, and the other enemy do look cooler, but they don't fight as well as the Tyranids. Let's just say that, okay? In comparison to my character, the other characters looked extremely more cooler and more decorated. They just weren't really as challenging as I thought the Tyranids were. That could have been just me getting better at the game throughout the game. Yeah, so there's this one sequence in the game where you're going down this hallway, this small little hallway, and a big giant Carnifex comes bursting through the doors. Now, mini boss battle. How long is it going to take? About 40 minutes to beat him? No. Is it going to take 1.5 hours? No. Is it going to take 2 hours? No. It took 6 hours. It took 6 hours to beat this one mini boss in the game. Now, it wasn't the boss itself. The boss wasn't too hard to actually fight. It was just the layout of the whole surrounding area. It was too small to work around in. There's all these big green servers, and I can see them ingrained in my brain right now. But when you rolled into them, it would stop your roll. So you just couldn't roll in certain areas to actually dodge certain shots. But yes, I did it. I bet him. I had to beat him off stream because I had to just sit down and just absolutely cook him. Now, after the stream, the day after, took about 20-25 minutes to just do it in that one sitting. Yes. Go. Let's go. Go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Fuck. Yes. We did it, boys. We did it. The reward was satisfying. Now look at that reward. Now I just showed you a clip of it. That's what the game was all about. Until I booted up the next stream. Booted up the next stream and it didn't save. Oh no. No, I bet him. That 6-hour fight sequence, didn't save. 5, 6. I've lost count. I was losing my marbles. I was going grey. Yes, I had to fight him again. Haven't played in a week. Loads me back into the same area. Can kick this lad's ass. Told you I could kick his ass. Easy. Light work. Only took 6 hours. But it only took 40 minutes. And then we progressed through the game. And it was really, really enjoyable after the fact. Now, I felt like that was a stepping stone through the whole game. Like that was one big learning curve for the whole game. The mechanics, so on and so forth. And ever since I bet that Carnifex, the game skill gap just dropped. It was like I was in a Rocky montage. And I was just training up in the freezers, for an example. And that Carnifex was my freezer. And that was... that Carnifex was my freezer, and it was the cow that was hanging up, and I just had to keep beating him until I could go back down and fight to go fight. After the Carnifex sequence, like I was saying, everything was easier, so I just really sort of steamed through the game then afterwards. There was 1 or 2 boss battles that sort of weren't really boss battles, but like again, like a mini boss battle, but wasn't as hard, wasn't as challenging. The main boss battle in the game itself, alright, like the main boss battle itself took about 1 hour and 40, about 2.5 probably. And that was just me doing it on stream, and then I done it off stream just to complete the game because I just wanted to get it done like towards the end of it. Now this was in the span of me playing the game multiple weeks, so I was like a few days on and then about a week off and then a few days on again as well. I just didn't really get the time personally to play the game as much as I wanted to, but I would have completed the game quicker if that was the case. That's why this video is coming out so late. Now this is completely off the cuff. I haven't written anything down, but the main game itself, like the overall game, Space Marine 2, would I recommend it 100%. The story, was it good? It was alright. Like it was a good campaign story, but it was mainly the gameplay I was there for. The cinematics in this game are absolutely incredible as well. Like I can't wait for anything Warhammer related for TV or movie to drop, especially big caval behind it, and I think it will be good. But yeah, no, I would recommend the game. I'm definitely going to play some more of the multiplayer as well. Do I have a big interest to go back and play the first game? About 50%. I'd say I'll pick it up one of the days and just fly through it on probably medium and easy. I wouldn't do that to myself as well. Now, playing it on the hardest difficulty, I was expecting an achievement, you know, like just, oh, look what I did, like with a cool screenshot background on the Xbox. There was no achievement, which is okay, fair enough. But they're definitely going to be giving me some sort of cosmetic to show other players in the game that I completed the game on the hardest difficulty. Saber, you robbed that from me. I want some sort of helmet or a flag or something to let people know that I absolutely was in that dojo for X amount of time with that Carnifex. Yeah, I think I should be rewarded for it. Okay, so if anyone in Saber is watching, put it out there. I did see a lot of people after they completed the game, they start listening to Warhammer lore and they start getting into the model making. Would I go back into the model making? Probably yes. Would I start listening to all the lore? Probably about 25%. You know, like it'd be probably the off chance where it was like, oh, there's this cool plot about this certain specific character at this certain time period. I'd be like, okay, let's see what that's all about. Well, if I played more Warhammer games, that more might increase, or if there's any more Warhammer media, that might increase also. This is a bit of a content switch for anyone that's watched this video this far, and if you have enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. I did want to do something like this. I've been watching a lot of YouTubers do this sort of style video talking about video games, and yeah, I wanted to make a full-fledged video. Now I have some recommendations here in the top left. There's a top left and there's top right for you possibly, with a few other videos that are much more low budget and much more low scale than this one. If you can check them out, that'd be really appreciated. But if you did enjoy it, do the like, sub, all that good stuff, and let me know what game next. The new Call of Duty just dropped, and I'm gonna play the campaign, and I might make another video like this, but who knows. This might be just a one and done type thing if I'm rambling on. So the video is gonna slowly start going black, and you're slowly going to watch my next video, and then the next one, and then the next one.